Hey, Dan here, and if you've ever thought about yourself as lucky or unlucky, if you have certain people in your life who are always having bad things happen to them and they say, you know what, I just have the worst luck, or maybe you just consider yourself unlucky, then stick around because in this video, I guarantee your luck will change from what you're going to find out. Now, if you're new here, my name is Dan. This is Dreams Around the World, where my mission is to help you become the best version of yourself, all while creating the most awesome life possible for you and those you love. Now, luck, it's one of my favorite topics, and actually in this video, I'm going to share one of my favorite studies. It's one of the most interesting studies I have ever read, and I think you're going to love it. Concept of luck. If you had to choose to be unlucky or lucky, I'm sure right now, as you're watching this, it's already popped into your head if you have a belief about whether you're a lucky person or an unlucky person, right? So acknowledge that with yourself right now, and let's continue with the video. My belief is if I was choosing between feeling that I am an unlucky person or a lucky person, no matter what the external circumstances, I would always choose to think I am a lucky person. And the reason is if you watch my videos on empowering beliefs before, then you know that what we believe ultimately affects our actions. And I'm not necessarily getting into some law of attraction like you believe something and it goes off and then the genies come and they float the magic carpet and you get your dream house, all when you send $99 to. I don't necessarily mean it in that way, but ultimately think about it. If you believe you are an unlucky person, are you gonna take a risk and start a business? That would be insane. You're unlucky, don't start a business. 9 out of 10 businesses fail and you're unlucky. Don't do it, right? If you believe you're unlucky, are you gonna walk up to that stranger and start talking to them and maybe start a new relationship? Maybe meet the love of your life? Of course not, you're unlucky. Right? If you're an unlucky person, the most rational thing to do is to lock yourself in a bunker and prepare for World War III, right? And of course, we all know that's going to lead to a really happy and fulfilling life. Ultimately, what we believe is going to shape our actions. If you believe you are lucky, you're going to go out and take a risk. You're going to try a new business. You're going to take a trip. You're going to move abroad. You're going to talk to that stranger. And then things are going to happen because you have taken action. And then those actions are, of course, going to affect your life, right? So ultimately, and I'm going to share my belief about luck and myself at the end. It might surprise you a little bit how little I've thought about this personally, but what you believe is going to affect your actions. And this is where my favorite study in the world comes in here. Top 10 favorite studies. I don't want to actually get too nailed down on one favorite study here, but one of my favorite studies where they brought people into this experiment and they asked them, do you consider yourself a lucky or unlucky person? And then they had them complete this exercise where, and I'm paraphrasing this here, I haven't read the study in a couple of years or really reviewed it because I guess I'm just being lazy today. So you could Google it if you want after for the exact details, the exact numbers, but they had people say whether they were lucky or unlucky, and then they had them read through a newspaper, and their job was to pick, or to count, I should say, the amount of photos in the newspaper. And the experiment was, we're going to count how long it takes, like we're going to time you, how long does it take you to go through the newspaper and count the amount of photos in it. And that is your measurement of success, right? And so they had the unlucky people go through it, and I think on average, again, I'm thinking back a bit here, but something like 2 minutes or a minute and a half that it took them to go through this paper and count all the photos. And there was something, I think it was 42 photos, let's say, right? And so, okay, took them about a minute and a half, let's say. Then they had the lucky group, the people who said, hey, I'm a lucky person, good things happen to me. They had them go through the paper, and guess how long it took them on average? Most of them, about 2 seconds. Why did it take them 2 seconds to go through this paper? Well, on the second page of the paper, there was a big thing that said, stop counting, there are 42 pictures in this paper. You're done. Huh, so interesting, right? I think. Now, there's a couple ways we could look at this. We could say that everyone who is unlucky because they have a terrible sense of perception and they just miss all the opportunities in life. And that could be the case. There could be like a correlation where you have a bad sense of perception, you don't see opportunities, and then you think you're unlucky, and then that makes you miss opportunities. But I think in many cases, it's that when people are the type of people who consider themselves unlucky, who think bad things happen to them, they just miss opportunities. They're closed off. The way their mind is they don't see the gifts given to them. I mean, that is a gift. You have to count the amount of images, and it says that's how many images there are. That is a gift given to you. The same way, maybe there's a business opportunity, or maybe you're sitting out at a cafe and the potential love of your life sits down beside you, like the universe has given you a gift, but you're like, oh no, I have to read about the bad news and the world's gonna end, and you never see that opportunity that was given to you because you're focused on the bad. And of course, you miss opportunities, and then you feel like you have bad luck because all your friends and the other people, they get good luck. They see those opportunities, but it never happens to you. So when I started filming this video, like as I was filming it, I was thinking to myself, am I, like, I know I don't consider myself an unlucky person at all, but do I consider myself a lucky person? And I can't ever remember thinking to myself that I'm lucky. I mean, I've thought of it in a gratitude sense, like, wow, I have a great life. I am fortunate to have this, and I've probably used the word luck. As you guys know, sometimes I'm a little loose with my language. I'm just whatever comes to mind first. So I've maybe said I'm lucky in that sense, but I've never really thought of myself as a lucky or unlucky person, at least in the last decade or so. And one of the reasons for that is my own belief, which may be something you want to adopt for yourself. It's something that I developed doing personal development work, working with coaches, reading books, and working on myself in my early 20s, was that I create my own life. I create my own destiny, if you will. And what happens to me, my life is my responsibility. So if something is bad, if something comes up for me, whether it's like I hurt my foot running, or I'm taking on a new business project, or a member of my family has a medical issue, first thing I do is turn to education. Learn as much as I can about it. Look for solutions. Look for things I can do. And yeah, I'm not claiming to be Dr. House here that I can solve every problem, but the attitude that I formed a long time ago is to find solutions and not to assume that I'm helpless, not to assume that this bad thing has happened so there's nothing I can do. Everything that happens, I basically at least do my best. I can't say it always works, but I do my best to see it as a challenge, right? This has happened, I want to solve this. Or I want this thing to happen. Like, hey, I want to go live in New York. How can I make that happen? And so because of that attitude that, again, I learned from other places and I was able to really adopt and make my own, I don't think of it as luck in either case. And sometimes there's a downside to that. We're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I hope you're okay with that. Sometimes it does mean maybe being too hard on myself, because if everything is your responsibility and everything is in your own making, then you might, be too hard on yourself. And sometimes you need to give yourself a little slack, a little like, hey, stuff happens, relax, take it easy, right? But overall, I found this belief to be really empowering. So ending this video here, what I would encourage you to do is really think about your beliefs around luck and about what happens in your life. And I know if you're someone watching this video, if you're a subscriber on my channel, you're someone who's trying to improve your life. You are actually, I should say, improving your life, working towards becoming an even better version of yourself. And so you are a problem solver. You are someone who wants to keep getting better and better. And so I'd encourage you to look at any of the beliefs you have about luck or destiny that might be negatively or positively affecting you. If they're positive, just acknowledge them, write them down, and maybe use them even more in your life. And if they're negative, then think about that. Maybe you want to adopt a new belief. And I'll link to a video here on Will Smith mind control, which is one of the ways I actually rewired some of my own beliefs and can work for you. It's super easy, you'll see in the video. And yeah, just think about that, because as the study made very clear, what we believe about ourselves has a massive impact on our actions and the opportunities that we miss. Thank you for watching. If you have not yet, consider subscribing to the channel. I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 6 a.m. Eastern, and I'd love to have you here. So hit that subscribe button and the bell. Catch you in the next video soon. Ciao.